This episode is sponsored by Off the Beaten Path. Use code FEY10, that's FEY10, at checkout to get 10% off all of your music commissions. Thank you so much, Off the Beaten Path. Now please enjoy the episode.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Feyfinders, a Dungeons & Dragons podcast navigating listeners into the vague and supernatural. My name is Sam, and I will be your Dungeon Master for Campaign Elements. And playing with me today is the captivating Caitlin.
Welcome.
The amazing Mancio.
Why, hello there.
And last, but certainly not least, is the jubilant Jupiter.
Oh, hello.
Now, let us try to restore the elements. Last episode, Luna, Benny, and Anu embarked on their journey to Ivriel, leaving Smecklin behind. The party made their way to the border to the Domain of Water. They were able to fashion a raft from the remains of an old bridge that's planks were floating in the vast ocean that made up the territory of Ivriel. After a near-disastrous encounter with a creature known as the Drowner, the party was saved by Nord, the husband of the district's matron. Nord took the party to the treetop town, where the party discovered that the people there did not see the abandonment as a curse. The matron of Ivriel, Corella, and her people expressed how they were grateful that the spirit of water had blessed them with even more of their element. The party was able to come across another mural and an acolyte notebook that had been excavated by the water genasi divers, and came across the knowledge that a new whirlpool had been formed near Lapis, the second largest town in the territory. The party decided that they must investigate further and continue their mission to free the spirits, despite the supposed blessing the abandonment of the water spirit has caused in the Domain of Water. We open with Luna, Benny, and Anu waking up around 6 a.m. in the hut that River had taken them to last night, preparing for their next stage of their adventure.
So guys, before they come and check on us, what do we want our plan for today to be?
Well, I don't think we're gonna have to steal those helmets. I never had much use for it back home, but I do know a spell that would give us the ability to breathe underwater.
You better not to risk it then in that case.
Oh, wow. That's amazing, Luna.
Yeah, I've never done it before, but can't be too difficult, right? Just giving
You'll be
the...
natural, I'm sure.
Thank you for the confidence. So now we just have to figure out how to get to where that new whirlpool. God damn it. To where the thing is. That
Whirlpool.
whirlpool. It's the one word that gets me.
Do we think we could get Lotus to take us there? And then we jump out of the boat?
I wouldn't see why not.
We do have to think they were somewhat suspicious of us yesterday, so they could say they want to keep us here. We have to be prepared for that.
Anu didn't get to go see any of the other village sections, so we could always just ask.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd appreciate a tour of their vast and supposedly blessed domain.
Well, before we go anywhere, I want to cast this spell for breathing underwater now. You should be able to still breathe on land, but then we just, I won't be trying to cast it as we're jumping into the water or something.
Fair. How long does it last?
If I remember correctly, a full day.
Right, and so how do we propose to test it in the meantime? I mean, shall we take a bucket of water and submerge our head as if we were to bob for apples, or?
I think that's as good as an idea as any.
All right. I mean, I'll try it now. Where is the nearest bucket?
Well, first, I'm gonna cast water breathing on the So yes, all three of us now have the ability to breathe underwater for the next 24 hours.
Amazing. And let's say that you have a bucket and a ladle in your room for fresh water.
Wonderful. I'm gonna fill that up to the brim, and I'm going to stick my head in it.
You do. And at first, your body rejects the sensation of trying to breathe underwater as it's such a foreign thing to you. But as you sort of get over that initial panic and you let in a breath, you notice that you are completely able to convert the oxygen in the water into oxygen that your lungs can use.
All right. I pull my head up out of the bucket. It works.
Oh,
Why do you sound so relieved?
like I said, never really had a use for this spell, so I've never cast it before, so
That's fair.
a bit worried it might not work.
At least Anu had the idea of testing it first.
Yeah, that was definitely a good idea. Would prefer not to be jumping into an ocean and not actually be able to breathe underwater.
Right. It'd be a bit salty for my taste, personally.
All right then. Is there anything else we want to try to get from Ivriel here before we head towards Lapis?
I don't have anything else that I need to do. And really, with kind of how their society is, we better get this done sooner rather than later.
Fair.
Okay, so as you are about to leave, you open the door to exit your hut and see a smiling river and 3 water genasi guards standing behind them. One that you recognize to be Brine, the water genasi that had brought in the mural during the first meeting with Corella. River regards you with a great smile and says, "Good morning, all. I hope you had a wonderful sleep."
Slept fine.
Thank you.
Wonderful. My lady matron, Corella, wishes to have an audience with you, if you'll all follow me.
Of course.
Right. An audience with the lady matron. What else could we do today?
Quite sure nothing.
Exactly.
No, we had just discussed, because Anu missed the beauty that is Lapis yesterday due to his poor stomach, that maybe we could ask Lotus to take us there at some point today to show Anu.
Oh, you will be seeing many more wonders that Ivriel has to offer you today. Now, would you follow me for this great honor of having an audience with Our Lady Matron Corella?
Right, the wonders of Ivriel await.
Most certainly. After you.
Anu steps forward.
Away we go.
Okay, so River leads you all to Corella's throne room, and there are even more water genassis present. Corella is sitting on her coral throne with Nord standing beside her. She addresses you all with a toothy grin, and bids that the guards close the door behind them, trapping you in the room. She addresses you and says, "My husband informed me that you were all hoping to free the spirit of water, and I don't see how that's quite possible, as the spirit has clearly been thriving here. I can only assume that you are most mistaken to wish to upset our blessings."
Oh, we of course are traveling. We were able to free the spirit of our home, but upon staying here for a night, we do clearly see that clearly with the way of life that you've led, this has been such a blessing for you.
Right. We're not here to remove any blessings of any sort.
Roll a deception.
No.
Yeah? Okay.
Both of us?
Yeah. One of you with advantage.
Okay.
You can roll,
I'm yeah. And okay, so that is a 21 with advantage.
Wow.
A routine check of the water spirit.
You want to perform a routine check?
Yes. I am a cleric. We are on a divinely appointed routine check of the spirits to ensure that all is well, that there is nothing that they are lacking, that there is nothing that the people are lacking, and oh boy, howdy, believe me, out there yonder and in the north, with the earth spirit, golly gee, what a check that was. But here, clearly, the check will be quite routine, you see.
By chance, do you have anything that would indicate this is your holy mission? I would love to see whom appointed you, and also how you came to this wonderful journey. Perhaps some slight more privacy would be in order for such a chat. And she bathes everyone except for the 3 guards that brought you in with River to leave the room. Now, please present such a grand honor that you were bestowed as to check the spirits.
Your Highness, you believe that the divines deal in the material things. We are given missions by the spirits themselves. They speak to us, they speak through us, and they carry us to their locations, hence why we wish to visit the whirlpool. And as we perform our inspections, we ensure that all is right in the land, and because all is right here, surely the check will be quite routine.
If you wish to check the spirit of water, perhaps you should just check what is right in front of you. Be satisfied, and be prepared to leave my domain.
Right. I see that we are unwanted.
Perhaps you should understand that under my guidance and my reign, that the water spirit has clearly manifested itself within me, and I am the one who is continuously creating a thriving continent on this side of the continent. On my part, I fashion myself the conduit if not the incarnate of the water spirit. To have such the audacity to insinuate I must be checked, that is quite a grave offense and an insult, sir.
Of course, you are so right. Really, I think if a check is not needed, we would be honored to be able to continue to explore your wonderful domain. We didn't get to do much yesterday, and then we would love to see more.
Quite so. Well, I find myself perplexed in what to do with you. I believe you shall be banished or executed for your impertinence. Either way, I believe a day in the prison should do you good, to set an example for the rest of my people not to challenge or undermine my reign.
Her Majesty would imprison those on a mission from the divine.
I am the divine.
I'm sure you have all manner of dealing with the darkness that spreads when the spirits are not in balance. Your Majesty.
There is no darkness in Ivriel. Perhaps if your domain of Earth was corrupted, that is something that your people were responsible for.
Like the balance of a scale. Our world has give and take. All things must be in balance. Your area is thriving, but finding balance for the world as a whole is what's necessary. Or in time, it will claim you too.
Yet that interests me little, and I grow tired of your impertinence. Brine, would you escort these individuals to the prison cell? And the 3 guards kind of start to, come up around you and start to kind of shoo you out the other door.
Oh, God. I don't know what to do.
Are you going to go...
Benny, being discreet in this moment, uses thaumaturgy to make it sound like the beams beneath them are cracking. And that sound happens, and so she instantly gets this panicked look on her face. And then she uses thaumaturgy again to cause tremors. Harmless tremors, but tremors in the building.
Ooh. Everyone is beginning to become in a state of panic. Brian kind of comes up to you, Benny, and, grabs your hand and slips something into your hand. As the room kind of is shaking and everybody's kind of holding on for dear life.
And so the divines speak their displeasure with your judgment.
And you see Corella just kind of grasping onto her throne and looks at you with the most evil glare, and just yells to the guards grab them now! And Brian kind of Benny still having a hand on your shoulder, just kind of just come.
Of course. I wouldn't dream of it.
And then she gives Luna and Anu just a quick little flash of her eyes, like come this way.
Alright. Anu shuffles over that way.
Luna follows, but kind of maintains eye contact, just glaring at the matron.
and the 3 guards are kind of like leading you out to this this prison cell made of driftwood, and it's sort of hanging over a sheer drop into the water. And Brian kind of like and Brian just kind of like tells the other guards, I can handle these 3. They will not pose much of a problem. And just kind of like gives you a really stern, long gaze, and just is kind of like, just get in the cage. It'll be fine.
Right. I'm sure no one's ever heard that one before, and nothing gets in the cage.
Benny follows suit.
Luna will also go in looking very unhappy about it, though.
Awesome. So, you get into the cage. Brian kind of like closes the door and doesn't tie it all too tight. There's sort of like a like knot system, but it kind of just like, it looks like she just kind of like hooked it on lightly. Kind of like, now stay put. I'll be checking in on you in 10 minutes when we do the shifting of the guard. And sort of like walks away with her companions.
As soon as she's gone, Luna turns to Benny and goes, what's going on?
Benny sticks her little pink fist out and then slowly uncurls her fingers.
You see a little note folded up into 4 squares, like it was folded like twice over, and it's just this small piece of parchment.
Benny will then unfold the parchment and hold the note, like with using her body as a shield so that she can still see it from an angle, but that it's visible to Anu and Luna without showcasing it to any other onlooker.
Mm-hmm. You open the note and it reads, I believe you. Wait for my signal.
What's the signal, though?
Benny then, like, smooches the note and tucks it in her shirt.
Right. Get in the cage. Wait in the cage. That's how they get you.
I mean, worst case scenario, and they drop the cage. We can still breathe.
That's a fair point. They can't drown us, at least for a day.
Yeah. And you saw the ropes. Brian didn't tie them very tight. We could totally get out of here.
So what, do we wait about 10 minutes and then, what, go steal a boat?
I think Brian is going to give us the signal when they're not on shift. And maybe they'll take us, or we could watch for a ship or boat that we could take if they skedaddle.
I suppose we wait either way.
So the 10 minutes passes extraordinarily slowly, and at the end of it, with 30 seconds to spare, you start to feel the cage slowly sinking into the water. It's quite high up, it's about 20 feet in the air, and it slowly just starts to descend into the water. You can see that right beside where the cage would land, there's Brian with a small boat ready to whisk you away.
Not wanting to draw attention, and her very obvious display of her dislike for water previously, the second it starts to descend, she's like, oh no, and like putting on a little bit of a show by like kind of panicking but not rocking the cage too much.
Mm-hmm.
You really weren't kidding about seeing us again in 10 minutes, huh?
I am very punctual. Now get in the boat.
Luna does the rope and opens the door for the other two.
Yes, ma'am.
So you all enter the boat, and she throws some very thick fishing netting at you guys and is like, stay under that until we get outside of the boundaries.
All right, everybody. Cuddle in close, I suppose.
She starts to row fairly slowly at a very casual pace, not wanting to draw attention from anyone. The merchants are still on their ship. It's quite lively now at this time in the morning. There's people who are yelling about their fresh catches, who are trying to sell off the jewels that they found, all that kind of stuff. And once you start leaving the border of this particular village into the open water, Brian kind of like kicks the side of the boat to just indicate like, click, click, it's safe, just like with her heel on the side of the wood.
Benny pokes her little face out just really discreetly from under one side of the net.
Thank you, Brian. This is very brave of you.
I can't condone the lies anymore. I can't condone this madness about how everything is fine. This is clearly not fine. And especially after I found that mural, I knew that Corella was descending.
Did she start declaring herself a god?
More or less, not in plain words. But she absolutely thinks herself the water spirit reincarnated. As much as I love this city and the way our lives are, it's just, we can't continue. I want what's best for the world and for my people. And Corella's not it.
Well, at least someone around here sees sense.
She will sink us.
I'm not sure that freeing the water spirit is going to make Corella go away. She's going to be here for us to deal with when we get back.
That might be true, but at least she can't lie anymore. At least she can't hide behind this feigned divinity. The people will turn on her once they've found out.
Something tells me that a spirit won't be too thrilled that somebody's claiming to be them.
Right? I suppose it's time for the divinely ordained to set forth on a mission of heresy.
Suppose so. And anyways, I'm happy to help. There's too much peace around here and it gets kind of dull, to be honest.
Well, I hope you get the action you wanted.
I anticipate us getting a lot of action.
Good for you.
And as you guys are nearing about 15 away from the whirlpool's top, you start to hear shouts coming from behind you. You are being pursued by a group of guards, with Nord at the helm of one of the 5 boats speeding towards you. Brian yells to you, "Jump overboard! Get out! I can take care of this! Just go and save the water spirit! Just go!"
Alright, well, don't die. And I jump out.
Thank you,
Brian. And Benny, like, kind of like diver tips over backwards over the side of the boat.
Luna sends like a silent prayer up to whatever may be listening and dives in.
So you dive, and you can start to hear the commotion from above as people are starting to get nearer and nearer. Brian is holding them off as best as she can, and there just sounds like a lot of shouting and swords clanking together. A lot of, "How could you betray us?" And you dive deep, and as you are diving, you see all manner of creatures swimming by. There are schools of fish, there are eels, There are luminescent jellyfish. And as you are diving deeper, you see a creature with the body of a bear and the head of an owl swimming by you. You note the fins on its arms and legs and its webbed feet. It looks exactly in your direction, making solid eye contact with you, with shimmering black eyes as it continues to swim by.
Luna looks at Anu, like, absolutely terrified.
Benny, that being the exact picture she had in her mind, forgetting that she can actually breathe underwater, lets go of all of her air at once, like this big bubbles.
Right. I guess we just keep going.
Aquatic elders, yeah. Yeah.
It pays you no mind as it continues to swim by. You eventually reach the whirlpool, and you are sort of like wading in the open water right beside this swirling underwater tornado-esque thing that is just plunging so deep down. You can see that there's a huge crater underneath it that just goes straight drop deep into the depths of the ocean. Do you enter the whirlpool into the void of despair and darkness?
Yeah.
Amazing.
That sounded so lackluster.
Only slightly.
Yeah, I
but
guess.
It makes it funny.
Well, I don't know if I was trying to do fake crying and then just be like, yeah, like, oh.
Amazing. So you enter the whirlpool and are spun down deep into an underground cave system. You can see that just outside of this swirling depth, so it sort of swirls until it gets to a small like peak at the bottom, and then there's sort of like a 5-foot gap between the cave floor and the base of the whirlpool, and the entire cave system is made out of limestone, and it is very dark down here, though you can see slightly with your dark vision. But you can see that there are 3 offshoots in this cave system. There is one to the left, one to the right, and one dead center.
Well, what do you think?
I'm terrible with directions. I don't know.
Do all the paths look exactly the same, or is something about one of them that stands out?
All of the entrances look the exact same. Like, looking into them, they look, like, very similar.
I'd say we could split up, but I don't think that will be a smart idea.
I would say we should never split up when we're in one of these caves. I think it's a bad idea.
Yeah, so do we just try? We'll try the first one, and we'll move on through the rest.
Sounds good.
Which one is the first one?
I say we start with the center one.
Okay. So you begin to swim into the center of the 3 offshoots. As you're going, you start to feel a rumbling and a heavy bubbling. There is the sensation that the water is starting to get warmer and warmer as you swim into this cave, and you can see that there is a light orange, red, yellow glow coming from deeper into this cave. As you're swimming through the tunnel, you start to see that there are many, many, many active underwater volcanoes, and you can see that at the end of this, like, straight tunnel system, that there is something glittering on the other side. You notice that the volcanoes kind of shoot in a pattern, so they erupt, it takes a couple minutes, or a couple seconds, and then they erupt again. You're noticing this pattern.
Right, well, no one ever said when there was a light at the end of the tunnel that the tunnel would be paved with volcanoes, so... Should we go in between the eruptions?
Yeah, I think... Yeah. Try not to get boiled alive.
Yeah. Good call.
No promises.
Awesome. So you kind of time it as best as you can, and I want everybody to make an acrobatics check.
My strong suit. Just kidding.
I got a dirty 20.
Nice.
Okay, God, I thought it was a 1, but it's a 7, which is still terrible, but...
Okay. Do you have no plus?
I don't, it's +0.
Oh no!
My athletics is better.
Same and
Oh no.
12.
Oh, okay.
Me.
Okay. It is Jupiter. You need different dice. Oh no. Okay. So Anu kind of takes the lead and has sort of memorized this pattern of the volcanoes, is dodging them effortlessly, and is like stopping exactly when the volcano is supposed to be.
I'm sorry, everyone.
Is stopping like as soon as the volcano erupts, and then is shooting past as soon as the volcano stops, and is just like a fish in the water, and is just speeding by and makes it to the other side without any issues. Caitlin, though struggling slightly to match Anu's speed, is still able to narrowly miss all of the volcanoes and makes her way slightly after Anu, and is kind of like a little bit out of breath because that was a little bit stressful, and also narrowly missing these very hot volcanoes. Luna, having seen her companions do this amazing feat of dodging volcanoes, shooting in the water, is so confident, and she just runs straight out into the open water where the volcanoes are active. And Luna is going to take 6 points of fire damage.
So that'll be 3, because luckily I have resistance.
Nice.
Amazing. So you...
I was about to ask if
It was
gonna...
intentional. Luna decided to just like take it. Like, it's a little fire.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's good.
Amazing.
It's good. I'm just finally being warm like I've always wanted.
Oh yeah, you touched the fire.
As Luna gets through and kind of like looking a little burnt, she just kind of like eyes Benny apologetically.
Icarus, it's not a story of pride. He was just feeling a little chilly because he was in one of those, like slutty little like Greek loincloth tunics, and he was like strapped to those wings, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so cold. I'm above the ocean, where there's like a breeze." And so he's chilly, and so he flies up, and he gets too close to the sun, and it melts. He wasn't like showing off.
Yeah, he wasn't showing off. He was
just trying to get warm.
He just got really cold.
So the lesson is cover up. Be modest.
Yes, wear your layers. Nice warm socks, a scarf, and a hat if you need it.
Oh my god. And don't get singed.
And don't get singed.
So Luna is slightly singed, but only slightly, maybe just a little bit of hair. As she makes her way to the other side, where you all see that there is a large pile of treasure that is just kind of sitting on this little platform.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say maybe we don't touch the quote buried treasure.
Well, what if it's the water spirit?
I mean, I'm not gonna touch it. If you want to see what it is, that just screams trap to me.
I'm just saying, it could be can I roll an insight check to see if it's the water spirit?
You can roll an insight check to see if it's the water spirit.
It's 21.
You are 100% positive that this treasure is not the water spirit.
You see, you can never be 100% sure of anything. And so, that's why I'm saying it could be the water spirit, and so you shouldn't discount it. But it does look suspicious. I would agree with you.
Would you like to roll a insight into what is in this treasure pile?
Yes.
You may.
That's a 20.
Yeah, so you can see that the exact quantity of treasure is 5 pearls, 3 sapphires, 15 gold pieces, a ring, a crown, and a necklace. They are all very beautiful and radiate light in this dark cavern. Well, not so dark. There's many active volcanoes.
Well, that's very suspicious. The fact that it radiates light.
Who knows? Maybe I was nice for once.
Is there a rock nearby?
You're in a cave of rocks.
Can I pick up a little pebble on the ground?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
Can I huck it at the treasure pile?
Yeah, you can. Roll a an athletics check.
Sure.
Because you're throwing like in the water.
13.
Yeah, you hit the pile. It just kind of like the tiny pebble kind of clangs against the gold and jewels.
Okay, so it's not an illusion. I'm gonna grab the treasure.
Yeah, which piece are you grabbing?
I'm just gonna take the whole pile and throw it in my bag.
Yeah, are you gonna investigate any of the pieces?
I turn over. Has Luna made it over yet?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would approach.
Yeah. Okay. I turn over to Luna and Benny and I say, "Well, anything interesting?" And I'm kind of like holding open my bag as it's like just supporting the treasure pile in its mouth.
Benny looks at it very intently to see if there's anything that she recognizes or sees differently about any of the items.
Do you want to roll an Arcana check?
I sure do.
Please do.
Nat 20 for a 27.
Hell yeah.
Gorgeous. So as you're looking at this treasure, you can see that the ring looks like a ring of storms that can only be used once to call down a storm of great rain, thunder, and lightning for 1 hour. You can see that the crown is the crown of authority, and it gives you an advantage of +3 on all charisma skill checks. And then the necklace of truth. When it is used, it can give +5 on an insight check when deducing if someone is being honest with you. And then the gold and the pearls and the sapphires are just very beautiful.
Nice.
Benny, looking at the items in the top of the bag, goes I recognize all of these from my reading about artifacts. And then she tells Anu and Luna what the ring does, the crown does, and what the necklace does.
That's incredible.
Right. Well, if you know what they are, you take first pick.
Oh, that's difficult. I'm not terribly persuasive. So maybe the crown of authority?
Right. You wanna put on a crown, push people around.
Or maybe the storm ring?
Storm ring's powerful.
I don't know. I'm terrible at this. You guys pick.
Luna?
That ring does sound really cool.
It's a storm ring.
And I do love storms. Just not the snowy kind.
Well, will it be the storm ring for you?
Yeah, I'll take the ring.
All right. Well, gee, I don't know which one to pick. You know, I will take the amulet. The truth amulet. I will take the truth amulet. Give me +5 on my insight when I am trying to see if someone is lying or not, because then I get a +12, so no one will ever be able to lie to me ever.
OP.
You'd have to roll like a 1 every time to not.
Yeah.
So then Benny timidly takes the crown of authority.
I love that.
Wraps it over her one good horn and then tucks it under her broken one so that it stays on her head.
Aww.
Ow.
We need new
How
art
does
of
it
this.
look?
It looks great. It looks really cool.
Yeah, you look really good.
Oh gosh. And she like turns around and is bashful. Even though she asked, she doesn't want to know the answer.
I see how it's effective, really.
So, go back and pick a new tunnel?
Yeah. Any preference left or right? First, we have to go back through those volcanoes.
Oh god.
So as you guys are starting to prepare to go back through the volcanoes, you start to hear a rumbling in the walls. From behind you, a large smash throwing rocks and debris pops out, and you see that there is a gigantic squid that starts to kind of like grab for the treasure that you just have taken.
We got Indiana Jones.
Luna just goes, I told you!
It's worth it. Roll initiative.
We strategically cook this calamari in the volcano.
Oh, well, I got a nat 1.
I got a 4.
Caitlin,
18.
Damn!
I will let you do that if you tell me exactly how and it makes sense.
I think the squid coming through the wall, everyone would have that like split second of panic. Benny's still paying attention to the of the volcanoes. So the second one erupts, it goes away. She pushes her companions past one of the blasts and then starts to try to get the squid's attention to try to see if she can get it to follow her through the booby trap volcanoes.
Okay. Roll your acrobatics to see if you guys all make it through the volcano and for the squid to follow you.
Okay.
All of us?
Yeah. If you're following Benny, if you're like gonna allow this
I don't
push
think
through.
Benny would have given them a choice. The first one, she like just pushed them through in that direction.
Sorry, I missed what we were rolling.
Roll your acrobatics to see if you can get back through the volcanoes.
I got a 19.
Okay.
Benny got a 16 this go round.
Okay.
That's a 5.
5? Oh! So close. So, Benny and Anu, you make your way to the opposite end, and as Luna is trying to make her way, she's just not fast enough. The squid is coming, and you can make a dexterity saving throw to see if you're going to be grabbed by this giant tentacle.
Oh.
Why is it always me, guys?
You need new dice.
I've used a different dice every time.
Oh,
Would
no.
all us dex save?
No, just because Luna didn't make it through the
Okay.
volcanoes.
Oh, thank fuck. 17.
Okay, you narrowly miss and are able to kind of swim through as this giant squid is just in hot pursuit and is like really just trying to run at you or swim at you guys, and you all kind of make it just just by, like, a hair's breadth out of this volcano area, the squid behind you just runs straight in with Unabound and just gets incinerated. And Luna, you can take another 3 fire. And you successfully evaded the squid.
I'm beginning to think that maybe fire is really not the best thing.
Yeah, I would say in future, maybe it's to be avoided.
So you all swim back out of this little offshoot entrance and back into the main cavernous opening at the end of the whirlpool, and you can choose to go left or right.
I picked last time. One of you guys picked this time.
Well, can I flip a gold coin?
You absolutely can.
All right, I have one right here in front of me in the real life.
Hey!
Amazing.
Talk about inflation. Gold coin these days, it says right here, worth 5 Canadian cents.
Wow.
It was a very satisfying sound.
You gotta call it. Which one's heads, which one's tails, left or right?
Well, right's tails. And
Okay.
it's tails.
Okay. So, you start swimming to the right. The cave is much shorter than the last one, and this tunnel system is much more green. You see, it is an underwater garden. There is a lot of water lilies and lotuses, there are sea cucumbers, there's luminescent algae, and seaweed. You can see that there is somebody in here. There is a merperson that is tending to the garden. She has a trident and is harvesting some of the plants.
Hello.
She kind of looks up at you as she's picking up a sea cucumber and just kind of hello.
How are you today?
Quite lovely, in fact. Thank you for asking. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I was wondering if you could tell me where we are.
Oh, well, you're just in my seaweed garden.
Oh, this place is nowhere special?
Well, it's special to me.
Well, I mean, sorry. I apologize. I meant to say it's this. We're looking for the water spirit.
Oh, that's lovely. I'm just tending to my garden. My name's Marissa.
Right? Well, Marissa, my name is Anu. This is Luna, Benny. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
You as well, in fact. Are you trying to get some sea cucumbers?
Luna looks to Benny specifically.
We're not from around here. Is it a food source for people from the land too?
I'm not sure, maybe. You could always try. I find them to be quite sweet.
Right, we could be the first ever.
You could. I enjoy them a lot, and they're a very good source of protein, potentially good for one day of rations. In fact, everything in this garden is edible.
He can't pass up the idea of eating something.
Right, well, I suppose.
Just have a snack, middle of mission. Middle of mission snack time.
Do you make stew down here? Is that a thing? Do you make stew under the ocean?
What is stew?
Well, it's you take a pot and you fill it with a liquid of some kind of a broth or some kind of stock, and then you include different ingredients, various protein sources, vegetables, maybe some carbohydrates.
I don't think so. We're completely immersed in a liquid.
See, therein lies the problem. I was wondering if you'd figured that part out.
No, I think that we just kind of eat things raw. Oysters, fish, a good eel. Sometimes when you get an electric eel, it cooks itself.
Yeah, you never thought of setting up like a grill on a thermal vent or something? Just like blast the nasty diseases out of it and whatnot?
What is disease?
Well, if you don't have that, that's fine.
I think our systems are well equipped to deal with the things that we consume down here. Though, when I did eat a blowfish, it got a little bit hairy for a couple of days.
Right, those are poisonous. Those will do that to you. Yeah, I mean, I suppose you're right.
Take one for the road? If it's no trouble.
You can each take 5.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
You're so
It is
generous.
harvest season.
Huh. And why not share the bounty of the harvest? I like the way you think.
Would you also like to try some seaweed? It's very rich in protein. It could potentially give you an extra 1 point on your AC for up to a minute.
I
will take
love
some.
that.
My mom told me to never touch that stuff. It's how fish get high.
Oh, not this kind though. That's only the one on the deep shore.
All right. Well, I suppose I can't say no to the seaweed.
Good.
Thank you very
I'll
much.
each give you. You're so welcome. I'll give you each 4. Oh, and then you must try the luminescent algae. That one gives you 5 minutes of enhanced dark vision.
Wow.
It's very useful when you're in deep underground caves.
This feels like in a video game before like a really terrifying boss battle,
Yeah.
and you get like all these drops. What are you about to do to us, Sam?
Or it feels like Hansel and Gretel.
Enjoy it
Am
while
I-
it lasts.
Am I about to die?
Maybe.
Actually, with my track record of failing saves, that's entirely possible.
I mean, it is entirely possible because you're about to get fucked. But who knows? We'll find out.
Fantastic. How many of the algae did we get?
3.
Does the cucumber do anything?
The sea cucumber acts as a ration.
Okay, it's alright.
So you just need to eat like 1 sea cucumber for a day.
Oh, okay.
DM, is it
Yes.
possible to get the item descriptions in chat?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Well, this was a lovely visit.
Yes, thank you so much for being so generous.
It's very rare that I get other people down here, so thanks for visiting.
Benny reaches into her bag and pulls out the last little bit of orange that she had tucked in her bag. I don't know how this will taste under here, but I picked this from a tree earlier.
Oh, it looks suspicious. What does it taste like?
Very sweet. Very sugary.
Perhaps it might go well with some fish. Thank you.
For your generosity with us, complete strangers.
Oh, anytime. Sometimes when you give, the world wants to give back to you, and it balances out with generosity and kindness. I'm going to have good karma for the rest of the week.
Absolutely. If not so much longer.
For your sake, I sincerely hope that is true.
Well, thank you, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And she kind of goes back to just like tilling her sea cucumbers and tending to everything.
Okay. So, to the left tunnel it is then.
Yeah.
Last one.
Something tells me it's not going to be as friendly.
Okay. So you guys swim back through the short cave tunnel and back into the main entrance. And so the only one left to go down is left. So the cave to the left is very dark and very deep. It goes deep into a dark abyss. It takes you about 2 hours to finally reach any sign of anything. You come to an underwater waterfall that flows lightly over a cavernous landing in the wall. You swim to it and find that there is small luminescent green mushrooms lining the limestone wall. They glow a sickly green. The walls are damp and you can hear a trickling sound coming from the cracks that are allowing water to seep in. There are also many little puddles on the ground that as you walk through create small splashes around the slick ground. As you walk, drenched to the bone in this deep undersea cave, you become so frigid that you are shaking worse than on one of the coldest nights that you've ever experienced in Philoven. The world around you is in ominous state as you continue walking deeper into the cave. The only positive right now is that the floor is flat, so your walk is not arduous, only endless.
Rick, like, I guess it's just gonna get colder and colder.
See about this algae stuff. And then he's gonna eat a piece of algae.
Yeah, you eat a piece of algae, and the darkness around you seems to be shining like it just kind of explodes into a sunlit expanse. The whole cave system you can see is like illuminated right before your very eyes. You can see that though it's a very long dark tunnel, there is another side to it, and there is another opening at the end of the tunnel. And you can just like see so much farther and so much more clearly than you've ever been able to see before.
Luna will also eat one of the algae.
Yeah.
Benny just remarks, like, this stuff is wild.
Well, I gotta try that for myself, and I also have some.
Yeah, and the world just kind of like erupts into sunshine as you're continuing down this long tunnel. It's quite a beautiful sight now that you can kind of see more clearly, and also because the cave floor was already illuminated with these mushrooms, your eyesight now almost overpowers them, and it's just like a beautiful glow around you.
Wow, this is really pretty.
Wasn't so nervous about what we're gonna find down here. I think I'd really enjoy it.
Your endless walk finally does conclude, and you come across another waterfall at the end of this cave. It is flowing very fast. You can't catch a glimpse of what is on the other side.
Well, can I like try to stick my staff through it?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I try to stick my staff through the waterfall.
Yeah, you just feel like the heavy pressure of the water crashing down over your staff. You don't feel anything. Like, the staff doesn't, like, hit anything on the other side. It's just being splattered with the water.
All right. Seems clear to me, and I walk through.
Mm-hmm.
Benny would then follow straight through after Anu.
Okay. And Luna follows through.
You walk through, and you find a room that is made out of long, draping seaweed on the walls. The floor has precious gems embedded into the ground. All around you, the room seems to glow with a golden light, though the source can't be traced. On the other end of this little offshoot cave, there is a pedestal made out of the same gray limestone, and at the top of this pedestal sits a silver goblet.
Luna approaches the goblet.
Inside of the goblet, you can see that there is a murky black liquid that swirls within it, as if it's moving and has its own current. It looks like the night sky and has flecks of silver within the liquid, twinkling in the golden lights around the room.
What does that look like, Luna?
It looks like the sky, like a night sky.
Wow. That's... What do you think we're meant to do?
Luna doesn't say anything, but reaches over and puts one finger into the water.
Okay. You just, like, stick your finger in?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you do, you just feel that there does seem to be a small current that's just, like, independent and working at its own will that is swirling this liquid around this goblet.
She removes her finger. Well, that didn't do anything. Is there anything else around where the goblet is sat?
Not really. It's just sort of the pedestal and the goblet and the seaweed walls. And the gemstone floor.
Can I examine the gemstones and see if there's anything, like, off or weird about them?
Yeah, absolutely. You can roll an investigation.
See what that... That's not terrible. God damn it. It's a 5.
A 5?
This was the one that gave me the
They
17 earlier. Gosh darn it.
They're just gemstones. They just look like really pretty rocks. You can see some emeralds, some citrine, some amethyst, some topaz.
Okay, nothing with the gemstone. Should we drink it?
Just wait. Benny's gonna walk up to the goblet and look into it and do like an investigation or arcana check just to see if she can tell any properties of this liquid other than looking like the night sky.
Yeah, dealer's choice. You can roll either an arcana or an insight.
13 plus 7 for a 20 arcana.
It is definitely magic. This looks like it has some sort of magical effect, and it looks like a potion of sorts.
So, this is a potion. But I don't know what kind.
A potion? Do you know how strong it is?
I'm not sure.
Benny's going to, like, smell the potion to see if that changes her perception of it.
It smells of seawater and nighttime.
So I should drink it then, is what I'm hearing. Yeah? Luna's gonna... This is like against my better judgment as a player, but I think that Luna would do this. She's gonna pick it up and like kind of make eye contact with Benny, like slowly bringing the goblet to her lips.
Hey, leave a sip for me.
Okay.
Maybe we should all do it.
Yeah. This... Wait and see if I die first before you guys drink it, okay?
Oh, just don't gulp it down.
That's...
she's Oh my god. Okay, anyway. So Luna brings the goblet to her lips and takes a sip and then sets it back down and then just kind of waits.
How big of a sip?
like a solid mouthful.
Swallow?
Like not like a solid swallow, not like a little like, but not like a like gulping it down. Yeah.
Okay. Luna disappears.
Right. Well, no choice but to follow suit. And Anu takes a sip as well.
Like a mouthful?
Yep.
Okay.
Watching exactly what Anu did before he can even put the glass, like, go to make the motion of putting it down, Benny snatched it and doing the same thing.
Okay. You all disappear. So you drink the liquid and the room shifts. The world becomes a vast ocean in which you feel like you have been melded into. You have no form, and you seem to have fused in with the water. You have become water. You feel yourselves float and lap with the current as creatures swim around you, with you, through you. There is no beginning or end, no up nor down to this expanse of open water. It feels very disorienting. You are floating. You are in this flow state as you shift with the current. And as you are sitting there, just kind of in this ocean, being one with the ocean, you see a sphere of sky blue light in the distance. It comes closer to you, and as it does, you are engulfed by light blue, and the world shifts again, and you are brought back to the room of golden light that has now become very dark and dull. The luster of the gems has disappeared. The seaweed looks like it's starting to brown and dry out, and you can hear a guttural great roar coming from the waterfall behind you. As you turn, you see a water Goliath burst through the cascade of the waterfall, and you can see that the blue glowing sphere is trapped inside of the Goliath's stomach. Everyone roll initiative.
All right.
Oh, okay.
I got an 8.
14! That was way better than
Nice.
last time. None of my dice have been nice to me really tonight.
No. But 14 is not bad. Oh, 8 and 8. Whose dex is higher? Benny and Anu?
Mine is a +1.
I've only got a 10 for Dex, so it's a stable 0.
Okay, so Anu will go first. Okay. Alright, Luna. This big water Goliath has just burst into the room and is poised to attack you. What are you gonna do?
Oh gosh. I think I'm gonna start with a good old trusty guiding bolt at first level.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that's a 14 for a dirty 20.
Oh, well, yes.
For 12 points of radiant damage.
Nice. Alright. Anything else for you?
Let's see. I don't think I have any. Yeah, I think that'll be it.
Perfect. Alright, now it is the Goliath's turn. And it is going to lash out its great arms at Anu, and it is going to try to shoot a large stream of water just to try and smash it into you. And that is just going to hit. And Anu is going to take 8 points of damage and be pushed back. Oh, sorry, make a strength saving throw as well.
Yep. 19. Or sorry, 16. 16, sorry, 16.
Oh, okay, never mind. You're just going to take your damage, and the water, you can feel the pressure trying to push you backwards, but you are able to stay on your feet and not be thrown across the room. And next, I would like to have Benny make a dexterity saving throw.
Dex saving throw, 16.
Right. So, you notice that the ground beneath your feet starts to sink, it starts to open as a great pool is in a 5-foot square has opened up beneath you. You are narrowly able to jump out of the way before being sucked under into the water and plunged deep into an expanse of ocean. You roll onto your side and sort of get up really quickly, noticing that you almost fell into a great pool, and just kind of like readjust yourself. And it is now Anu's turn.
All right. I am going to cast Ray of Enfeeblement on the creature.
Okay.
So I need to make a ranged spell attack.
All right.
That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Absolutely.
Okay. And now it deals only half damage with weapon attacks that use strength until the spell ends.
Okay.
But on each of its turns, it can make a con save against the spell.
Okay.
And the DC is 15.
Nice. All right. Benny, what would you like to do?
Benny is a little bit unsure if the spells that she knows are going to have much of an effect. So she draws her bone blade sword and is going to slash at the water Goliath to see if that has an effect on it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can roll to hit.
15 to hit?
15 does not hit.
Okay. She's unsure of herself and she swings and misses.
Yeah, a little bit off kilter after almost being sunk into a pool and not too sure about if her attacks are going to do much good in this particular instance. Yeah, and then back to the top of the order, Luna.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do Thunder Wave at second level, which is a con save.
Yes, and do note that Benny is 5 feet away from this Goliath now because she did go up to do a sword attack.
Okay, I am gonna run up to where I'm level with Benny and then cast it.
Okay, sounds good. And sorry, con save?
Yes.
17.
That succeeds, so you'll take half as much damage and you won't get pushed away from me. Oh, well, hell yeah, that's an 8 and 2 7s for that 3d8, so...
Nice.
I can't math, though.
That's okay. 8 plus 14, 22, so 12.
So, 12 points of thunder damage.
Nice. Now the water Goliath is going to try to open up a mini sinkhole under you, Luna. So make a dexterity saving throw.
Yep, that's going to be a 5.
Okay,
Damn it.
so it's always you. Poor Luna. You start to feel the ground beneath your feet begin to sink as the rock, the limestone, starts to crack, and as it does, you are plunged deep into the depths of this this little pool that has opened up. It's a 5-foot little kind of circular pool. And on your next turn, you can make a strength check to try and pick yourself back up out of the water. Please do so. There are consequences. And next, this Goliath is going to try to use its cascading splash attack, and it is going to aim that at Benny. And that is a 14, which does hit.
Boo.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay.
not great for.
Okay, so you are going to take 7 points of damage, and you are going to be pushed back 5 feet from this Goliath as it sort of pushes you back with this big cascading splash of water just going straight into your face. Luckily, you have this spell that keeps water sort of breathable in your lungs. Otherwise, it would be very uncomfortable, and you have a burning sensation in your as you're inhaling. And you are pushed down prone, smack on your butt, onto the ground.
As it just hit me, can I use my reaction then for Hellish Rebuke?
Absolutely you can.
I know it's fire, so it won't do much, but Benny, I don't think at that point would care. She just got like a tidal wave in the face, so she's going to point her finger and Hellish Rebuke.
Yeah.
So it's a dex save.
For sure. 18.
Ooh, it definitely saves, so it will only take half as much damage, which I'm sure then you will quarter. But maybe I'll roll well.
I hope you do.
Okay, so that is 2, 10, 14 points of fire damage normally, so then reduced to 7.
Okay. Perfect. And now it is Anu's turn.
All right. Well, I'm not sure that this thing's going to be very well affected by a physical attack. And I don't have a lot of damaging spells. Except for Toll the Dead, which can do a lot of damage. So I'm going to cast Toll the Dead, so it has to make a DC 15 Wisdom save.
Okay. It does not save.
Okay. And it has already taken damage, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so it takes 2d12 necrotic damage. Which just comes out to 9 necrotic damage.
Okay. And Benny, it is now your turn.
Benny is a little bit nervous about stepping too much closer to it. So from where she is, just to kind of gauge to see how this will work, she is going to kind of glare at it and cast Ray of Sickness.
Okay. That's a
That
con
would be-
save?
No, it's... Oh yeah, it is, sorry, yeah. Con of 15.
Okay. I got a nat 20.
Boo! But I mean, you're rolling great. Congratulations.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, my element dice today, because I have the Avatar element dice from this, like, independent seller who, like, did a special thing, they're doing super well today.
That's fair. It failed its save though, so it is now a poisoned water Goliath.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, the Constitution saving check is just for the poisoned part of it.
Okay.
I
so
still have to roll to see if I can do the attack portion, I do believe. Sorry.
Okay, that's totally okay. So
Make a ranged spell attack against the target.
there you go.
Okay.
So
My
you can roll to
apologies.
hit. No, all good.
Okay, that's a 19 to hit.
You hit.
Okay. And that is 8 points of 8 points of poison damage.
Okay. And now it is Luna's turn, and I will need you to do a strength saving throw to see if you can get yourself out of this sinking pool.
God. Don't fail me now, dice. That's a 9 for an 8.
No. You feel yourself splashing around in a panic, trying to get yourself out of the sinkhole, and realize that because you're splashing so aggressively, it's actually working against you, and you go 5 feet deeper into the sinkhole.
I don't know if this is something that I can do.
You can try. Tell me what you want.
Okay, so I have Thorn Whip, right?
Yes.
Could I try... It's like 30 feet of it. Could I try to, like, launch that out and see if I can pull myself out if it lands on something?
Yes, you can. And I will say, if you want to try to do that with one of your allies, it won't cause damage. But I'm gonna say that on your next turn.
Okay, instead of the strength
Yeah.
check. Okay. Next
Yes.
turn.
Yes. Because realistically, the only things that you could grab onto is the pedestal, which is gonna be now like 15-ish feet away, which is still within your range, so that's fine, but it is on a curve. And your allies, which are now 10 feet from you, because you've sunk 5 feet into the water. Yeah. So we'll do that on your next turn. You can try to, like...
Sounds good.
corral.
Just get really inspired by Across the Spider-Verse, you know?
Oh, yes. And also the whole Indiana Jones thing that just happened this
Yeah, there you go.
Love it. Perfect. Awesome. So now it is the Water Goliath's turn, and it is going to attempt to sink Anu. So Anu, can you make a dexterity saving throw as the water, as this, like, pool starts to crack underneath your feet and the limestone starts to sink deep into the expanse of water beneath you.
You know what? Anu was so busy watching Luna sink that he got a natural 1 on his saving throw.
Oh, no! Oh, no. What is the final result of that?
2.
Oh, no. Okay, so as you're... oh, no. So as you, are... as the floor opens up beneath you and you start to be plunged into the water, you're so just startled by how quickly this pool opened up that you accidentally bang your chin on the on the limestone as you go down, and you take 1 point of damage.
Oh, I thought I was going to be unconscious.
No, for your nat 1. We just do, like, little things for nat 1s.
Okay.
I'm not gonna, like, flat out kill you. But yes, so you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage on the limestone as you plunge deep into this pool.
Wow.
And Benny, the Goliath is going to try and splash you again with its cascade of water, which is a 17 to hit. So it... and I'm going to need you to make a strength saving throw to see if you get pushed back another 5 feet.
Okay. Strength saving throw. 15.
Perfect. You don't get pushed back, and you take 10 points of damage. So as this water starts to just crush and cascade, you're managing to plant your feet firm and take the blow as it's coming in this big stream of water, just trying to splash down your lungs. But you hold firm, and you are able to stay in place. But as you're weathering this overpowering crash of water, you are inflicted with 10 points of damage. And Anu, it is your turn to do unless you have another plan of how to get out of this hole, you
Right.
can do a strength save to see if you can climb yourself out.
I think it'll have to be the strength save. Which is a 21.
Yep, you're able to sort of like get your bearings back after shaking off your little bump on the chin. You are able to hoist yourself out of this pool and kind of roll back up to be on your feet as you clamber out.
Ow! Is that my turn then?
I'll give you another turn. I'll give you a free action.
I'm gonna toll the dead at this guy again. So DC 15 Wisdom save.
Okay. I got a 4.
All right. Well, he takes 19 necrotic damage.
Oh, well. As you have sent this overpowering sense of dread over to this Goliath, you see that the water just starts to sort of rumble in itself, and it starts to kind of shed off and rain down in these little drops that are coming down so quickly, like a very what's it called? Controlled or concentrated section of this room is just going through a flood storm. And as the Goliath disappears and turns into puddles on the ground, you see that the spirit of water has become free from the bounds of this Goliath. It spins around you, and it's sort of like anticipating the three of you sort of being together again, and is sort of spinning around this pool where Luna has fallen into.
I go over to where Luna is, and I grab Luna and try to pull her out of the pool.
Yeah. You guys can do a, like, athletics with advantage.
Together, like Benny grabbed one arm, Anu grabbed the other.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. You guys can just pull her out.
Mm-hmm.
So you all reach in, and Luna is yanked out of this sinking pool and pulled up onto the limestone.
Thanks.
Yay. Our pleasure. Are you all right?
I think so. I could breathe. It was just not very pleasant. And you can see that, like, obviously holding her arms, you can feel her just, like, shaking.
And as you guys are all clustered together in a little circle, you can see that the spirit of water starts to spin around you at a rapid speed. And it starts to kind of create this screen of water that encapsulates you, and a vision is revealed. You see the fall of the Mountain of Harmony. It collapses and sinks deep into the earth. A great fog leaches out from the newly formed crater, seeping over the land and coating it in a thick gray fog. The citizens run. There are citizens running in the streets in fear and confusion towards the border of the central city, and the smog is just so thick it consumes them. A smoky creature starts to walk out of the smoke towards the north. It is escaping from beneath the central mountain of Harmony. The smoky figure is becoming a little clearer, and there are a few details that can be made out. It is a slim, tall body with long black hair and piercing bronze eyes that glow brightly as if they are their own source of light. The entirety of the central city seems to be decimated as the figure seeps towards the direction of Philovin. The water screen drops around you in a big splash, and the water spirit has disappeared.
Right, well that certainly wasn't an encouraging vision.
That must have been how this all started. Whatever that thing is was beneath Harmony.
Well, is that what we have to, defeat to finally make things right again? I mean, we have one more spirit left.
I think that's what this is leading to. Whoever that is, whatever that is.
What do we think that is? I've never seen eyes like that before.
Do I recognize it, DM?
You can roll a history check.
Okay. That's a 5.
No,
Okay.
such an ambiguous, smoky figure.
Can I see if I can recognize or recall anything about it?
Sure, you can roll a history.
That is a nat 20. Plus 2. It's 22.
Yeah, so that figure looks like almost exactly like the shadowy figure that you've been seeing sort of around these little trials that you've been going through.
It looked different this time, but it is definitely the same shadowy figure that we have seen after every spirit that we've freed in the visions that we've had. It's just becoming clearer now.
That guy gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, I mean,
Do we want to swim back up and see if Brian's okay?
I sure hope she is.
I'd be prepared for more of a fight.
Okay. How's everyone feeling? Should I give us a little healing before we go up?
I mean, I've been better, but I can't complain too bad.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty okay.
Okay. Benny, unsure about everyone's answers, does a little healing word. So she kind of like swirls her hands in front of her, and everyone feels 7 points better.
Nice.
Lovely. Yeah, so as you guys start to walk towards the waterfall and leave through this entrance, you hear through the rushing water a voice saying, "Doom is nigh. Chaos must end for harmony to be restored. Hurry, there is no time."
Right. Kill chaos. Sure. I don't see why not. I mean, we've come this far already. What else is there to lose?
So you make your way back to the base of the whirlpool and find that it is gone and a clear ocean is around you. You swim back up to the surface and find that carnage has been left behind from Brian's battle. Two destroyed boats are floating with the debris just above the surface of the water. There is one boat left that has a large hole in the side that is allowing water to seep in. There is no sign of anyone around. The water level seems to be slightly lower than it was. In the distance, you can see that the trees holding up the town of Lapis are far more exposed, with barnacles and algae present on the waterlogged bark.
I don't like the look of this.
And there's no sign of Brian.
No, there's no sign of any person. It's just like the debris. It looks like there's a bunch of ropes, and just like broken boats are just kind of floating around.
Is there any boat that still looks functional?
Yeah, just the one that like has a big hole in the side, but it's like on the side enough that yes, like water's gonna be splashing and seeping in, but it is staying afloat.
Are you thinking we take one of these pieces of debris back?
I think so.
Unless you intend to swim the whole way.
I was about to say, I say it beats swimming.
Absolutely. Into the holy boat.
So, are you intending to go back to Ivriel, or are you guys like gonna start heading towards the border of Lilibel?
I want to go back for Brian.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with this new resolve, of going back to save your only ally in this whole entire territory, you board the leaky boat and make your way back to the capital of Ivriel, with the resolve of charging the gates and saving your friend. And that is where we're going to end this episode.
All right.